included 63 fights, 53 wins, 32 by way of knockout. And as the current IBF Light Heavyweight champion at the age of 48, yes, 48, he holds the record as the oldest fighter in boxing history to win a world title. And there have been lots of world titles, folks. Lots of championship belts. Bernard has held at least one middleweight belt from 1994 until 2005. And he defended his title a record 20 times. He is widely considered one of the greatest middleweight champions of all time. Ring Magazine ranked him number 3 on their list of the 10 best middleweights of the last 50 years. It has been an incredible run for this man, ladies and gentlemen, but it is not yet over. Let's take a look at this living legend who has kept our city's boxing legacy alive and well. Age-defying, record-breaking, inspirational. All of these words describe Bernard Hopkins, who at 48 is not only the oldest fighter to win a world championship in the history of boxing, he is the oldest athlete to win a major championship in any sport. While Hopkins has reached yet another extraordinary chapter in his remarkable career, his story, which began in North Philadelphia, has not always been a happy one. He was a young man who did what he felt he needed to do to survive in the face of daily life in the rough neighborhood. Unfortunately, the decisions the young Hopkins made led him to Graterford State Penitentiary at the age of 17.
In '83, I was totally a fool. Misguided, bad decisions, and understand the price you pay for being ignorant.
He took up boxing while at Graterford, and it helped him become the man he is today.
And the system gave me a lot of passes. And then I realized that, you know, not only because of age, but as time went on, you rebel, but then you realize that, wait a minute, that's more than me, myself, than just being in this mindset and this situation.
7 years after his release from prison, he won the middleweight championship. And once he won the title, B-Hop went on an amazing run. 20 title defenses, a record for the division. 2 of his biggest wins during that streak, beating Felix Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya. The streak came to an end in 2005 when he lost a split decision to Jermaine Taylor, but Bernard had more in the tank. The next year, he moved up to the light heavyweight division, and at age 41, he beat Antonio Tarver to win yet another title. It seemed a perfect way to end his career, but B-Hop wanted more. 5 years later, Bernard would shock the world, beating John Pascal to become the oldest boxer to win a title, breaking George Foreman's record.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the legend lives on, Bernard, the executioner Hopkins!
Earlier this year, after losing the title, Bernard beat Boris Cloud, breaking his own record as the oldest title holder. How does he do it?
It's a combination of a lot of different variables. You know, one is his mindset, 2 is his genetics, like I said again, his focus, his athleticism. You know, these things all come together and culminate to a point where it produced one of the greatest athletes in history.
We're thrilled to honor one of Philadelphia's great champions today as we present the 2013 John Wanamaker Athletic Award to Bernard Hopkins. Ladies and gentlemen, to accept the 2013 John Wanamaker Athletic Award, please welcome a great champion, the executioner, Bernard Hopkins. And here's the champ.
Now y'all set me up to come right how Miss Yolanda and back on my feet with their inspiration and their motivational support to young people and kids. And you know, I'm gonna try my best to fulfill those obligations and give the people here that supported me and know about my history and know about my challenges and also know about my victories in the ring and out of the ring. But I believe the people that came before me a few minutes ago said something that really stuck to me, because I was given a chance. And even though I didn't believe in myself, it took one person out of all those chances I was either given verbally or given an opportunity to be different and to change a mindset. And so, as the journey started, and as I realized that I was more than just a Y 4145, which was my graded Ford State Penitentiary number that, as you know, I just mentioned it, will never forget. Yes, I moved on. Yes, I've accomplished a lot of things. And through boxing, and through being successful as an athlete, I got a chance to, because of my sport, travel. And if anyone in here understands, when you realize that the world is not just Sharpneck Street up in Germantown, and the world is not Raymond Rosen Projects in North Philly, when the world is bigger than Philadelphia, your eyes and your thought process begin to change. And mine's did. So through boxing, through something that I've done in a family tradition for 4 decades, I said to myself, one day, I'm going to be the champion of the world. And I also said to myself one day, I will not be Y 4145 no more. Everybody in here, young or old, or that will listen to this later on, have something in them that they can master to be the best that they ever thought or ever dreamed of being. But a dreamer dreams when they don't wake up. To understand, you gotta put effort, sincere effort, and work and labor behind all prayers and dreams. So I had a dream about a lot of things. And those dreams either came through or it was just a dream. And I wanted to change my thinking, which means my behavior, which means then my success. Now, saying that and having that plan is one thing, and always don't work the way, even in the positive thinking, the way you want it. And there's a lot of people who can testify to that. Because I lost my first professional fight. Yeah, I did. In Atlantic City, a 4-rounder, $100 in a round, pay your corner people, 0-1, 9 years of parole, to still walk off, maybe 8.5 then, because I was out for a couple of months. What I'm gonna do now? I tried, right? From 1989 to 1989, the following year to 90, I was missing in action in boxing. I had to make a choice to be the same person that I used to be, or go back and try again. And this time, it lasted almost 3 decades. So giving up is not in my DNA. Saying that you can't do something is defeating yourself before you even try. And I feel that if I can show through ignorance and bad decisions that I can become the best after losing that first fight and then winning and making history and building my legacy 10+ years later after making that decision. Luck doesn't happen that often. Rabbit foot doesn't work with me, if you believe in that. Because I always say if a rabbit was so lucky, how his feet get off. I'm proud to be in the position to represent Philadelphia and hold, as we say, the fork down for the years that Philadelphia boxing has not had that face that we had in the 70s and the 60s and the early 80s, that Mr. Johan Sr. and Johan Jr. was instilled the top legendary promoters and managers and business guys that recognize and understand that history back then. I was glad and still glad to still be a presence in that sport. But my day will come where I will and won't be able to, and definitely won't have the hunger to do it anymore. So we got the fighters like Gabriel, who's sitting over there, the junior middleweight contender, who will be a champion, who get the baton for myself. Danny Garcia, who's 2-time champion, who's well-recognized young fighter who's been inspired by myself, like I've been inspired by the great Joe Frazier's and the legendary fighters of this world, of this city. I tell people not to give up. It don't have to actually be sports, it can be life in general. And you can do things and be successful when others think they can take shortcuts and get to the same mountain that you're trying to get to. They will get exposed, Lance Armstrong. So when you that role model that I consider myself, you have to understand that when you become something of interest to young people, which is more important, not that the older persons is don't really count anymore, but let's keep it real, y'all. We understand that soon they're going to become adults. They're going to need a blueprint. You got to get them when they're here, not here. And so if I can be that example across the world, especially, I'm biased in this city, to recognize that I have more to give than just all the victories or the accolades that come with being successful. That's good too. But at the end of the day, when you leave this world, you leave by yourself. And anything you try to take with you, the grave digger's gonna get it when everybody leaves. Trust me. So I try to live by example. Nobody's perfect. Everybody here know that they don't live in a glass house. But are we conscious about the legacy we leave, even in our own family first? Judge a man by how he treats his family, how he treats his own kids, before you approach him to help others. Because that's the wrong person you want your partner or with you. You want a person that's going to go in there and be the people that got honored here today, who want to fight, sometimes no check at all. And so I became, in spite of being who I am, and go buy a house somewhere up in the hills, and their problem is their problems, and my problems is mine. You have to give back once you come through the ranks that we recognize. Because to me, why you was chosen to be who you are, through work, through sacrifice. The biggest blessing is when it's all said and done, and you can't win no more fights, Joanne. You can't throw and play basketball like you used to, and you come back down to earth, and you gotta be amongst people anyway. I want to be the one to say that I inspired a young fighter not only to be able to throw a punch, but be able to read, be able to count, be able to balance his checkbook, be able to know to pay his taxes, be able to make great investments. Boxing is what I do, but it's not who I am. That was important to me. And if I can show that by not just speaking as I speak here today, and show that in everything that I do, whether it's real estate, whether it's business, whether it's stocks and bonds, whether it's this, whether it's that, I tell people when they ask me, what are you? Are you a person that helps? Or are you a person that want to make more millions? I said I'm a Republican. I represent the right thing. If he's saying the right thing and I understand it, then I'm with you on that particular thing. But if you're saying this on this side, then I'm with you on that side. Because I made a stance to myself is to be, I'm on the side that's doing the right thing by the people we gotta help. Because I'm from the common sense party. And when I recognize that, I recognize that when I look at a homeless guy, that ain't homeless to me, because he has a home. And once he recognize that she or he has a home, you know what happens? They see that they exist. And when some of us get blessed, whether we work hard to get there or not, we forget that. Whether you have a belt, or whether you have a degree, or whether you have a $200,000 job a year, at the end of the day, you breathe in the same air that we don't pay for. And then at the end, you have to understand that if you don't help to structure and give someone who's either younger or right beside you a chance to be able to fulfill her and his dreams. Somebody might do that to somebody you love in your family. Karma. I believe in that. I believe in what goes around comes around. Don't look for a Thursday, but it's coming Wednesday. And so, you know, thanks for being patient. But I wanted to come up here and not just talk and not just let y'all understand that I'm not just a guy that, and I'm not saying y'all think that all about me guy. Because I don't call the news or the cameras every time I want to hand out turkeys. I know people that eat turkey in June. They don't wait till November or they be dead. So I do things quietly. And sometimes it gets out there. Because I understand the conscience of it. The conscience of, if your intention is to give this amount of money to be seen, or you be giving this less money to not be seen, I want the less money and I want that guy because his intentions is going to last longer than the guy that's just doing it for a reason. And so to get honored here with this award and be respected for the deeds that I did on the physical and also the sportsmanship. I've been a little off every now and then. So I must have won some votes somewhere with somebody. Continue to support everything that you heard here today, and even in your own individual communities, foundations, supportive. I'm a Philly guy. I know Yolanda live in Delaware. I live there too. But I live and come here and have a place here to stay close. Because when I mentioned before a fight, this is Bernard, the executioner Hopkins from the city of Philadelphia. because I know Delaware really don't scare my opponents. So that's a clause that I had my lawyer, Eric Melzer, everybody at the table, that I'm gonna say thanks for coming to support me, and Phil Stern and Nazim Richardson, my trainer for over 18 years. That's a clause. That's a clause that, yes, thank you. That's a clause I made sure that they kept in there. Never say, you know, I need to scare my guy first. When you get a little older, you want to make sure you get all the advantages you can. So say Philly twice. When they said from the city of Philadelphia, the guy's eyes go like that. I said, yeah, I won the first round already, and punching him and stuff. Listen, thanks for being patient. I just tried to keep it here, nothing written down. Didn't think about it overnight. I just want to be raw. I just want to be real, and I just want to come across letting y'all know how I think and how I feel. And again, boxing is what I've done respectfully, and I respected and still respect my job. But it's not who I am. Thank you.